Hello and welcome to chapter 4 of the Plain Truth 12 channel. This is your host Luke. Now, I know I said I was going to shy away from doing a topic on this, or doing a video on this topic rather, but as certain information comes to light, I am compelled to share because this is quite interesting. As you can see here, Moscow orders mandatory vaccination against the C-19 for some workers serving the public as cases soar in Europe's largest city. Now, if we scroll down, you can see, and this is pretty much how it's going to be, so just prepare for it. As it says here, as a result, 60% of workers in selected businesses and organizations will be required to be immunized. Sectors singled out include transport, food and beverage businesses, banks, as well as those working in beauty salons, theaters, museums, fitness clubs, spas, and massage parlors. In a statement issued at the same time, the mayor of Moscow said that officials had seen a dramatic worsening in the situation. Ultimately, it's up to everyone to get vaccinated or not. He said, you can protect yourself or hope that everything will work out. This is a personal matter, as long as you sit at home or in the country. But when you go out in public places and come into contact with other people, willingly or unwillingly, you become an accomplice of the epidemiological process. This is the chain link of the spread of a dangerous virus, the mayor said. Moreover, if you work in an organization that serves a large circle of people, then in a pandemic, it is definitely not only your own business, no matter what personal protective equipment you use. Now, look at the language that's being used. Now, we have to be very careful with the language that's being used because it's like a moral outcry. If you are not with us, you are against us. It's the them versus us mentality. It's an old political trick has been used for thousands of years. It's a weaponization of populism, and an enemy is being identified. And if you are not with the allies, then you are with the enemy. Again, the hospitality industry is pretty much going to be used to encircle those that do not get the second or first jab. You move to Pakistan. Again, this is extraordinary. No jab, no phone. Unvaccinated to have SIM cards blocked, Pakistan's Punjab government says. Now, if you scroll to, where is it? Because it's the language that's being used. We are doing all we can to compel people to get vaccinated. The government cannot allow individuals who do not want to get vaccinated to risk the lives of those who are already vaccinated. Now, again, and this is going to be the slogan of this channel, the government does not care about you. All this is for political clout. No one cares. Oh, let me rephrase. The working class, the wider populace, honestly, is not at the forefront of the government's mind. All this is to implement a certain system, which I will be doing a video on in the future. Now, if we move on to the next article, MPs warn Brits have to learn to live with COVID for the rest of time. This is true because a system is being put in place. It is less about the virus and more about the system to which the people will be subjected under. This is not a video game. It's not a fantasy world. We're just seeing it, the very early stages of how this is going to be. Like, if we move on to this article, oh no, it's this one here. Vaccine passports or proof of negative tests to be used at Wembley for Euro 2020 matches in the UK. This is not to be a surprise to anyone. Again, it's the hospitality industry, private companies, private businesses, private development, homes, public places. They are the ones that's going to be implementing the forceful, not to say forceful, but they're going to be implementing a lot of the soft measures such as PPE, the COVID passport, the negative test, and then it's going to move on to the government being a regulatory force. But at the moment, when it comes to COVID passports, the government are being very sly in their language. As stated here, travel restrictions may be eased for Britons who have had both jabs. Matt Hancock hints, but not right now. Hints, not right now. They've been saying the same thing since COVID passports was a topic in the House of Commons. He keeps saying the same thing. Not right now. It's a consideration. We're trying to see and work out the ethical implementation of such a measures as the language they're using. They do not want to discriminate. But as time goes on, it's going to happen. We move on to the next topic or the next article, rather. COVID passports would be discriminatory and either should be scrapped. Again, this is the stance they're taking now, but we are in, I don't even want to say summer because it's absolutely pouring outside, but we are in the summer months. This is the best time for people to go outside. Wait until the winter comes. Because if they're doing this and Boris is pushing, has pushed the opening day 4 weeks to encourage people to get both jabs. He's not blocking people's phones and he's not ordering. But again, the language which is being used is soft. Now, the reason why I did a video in this today is because this, this, and this is underpinning, creating a foundation for what is to be implemented over the next 5 and 10 years, which is the fully digitalization of our cities / society, country. I'm going to do a video soon on Estonia, the first fully digitalized country on the planet, in terms of its leaps and bounds ahead of all Western nations in terms of digitalization. You can do your taxes online, you can do everything online. There's one ID, but these are where Western and Eastern, Northern, South, and every country is looking to be. Now, COVID, regardless of its lethality, but the measures in place are being used to put forward this initiative a lot faster. Because if you have one health record which possesses all your information on one, it becomes easier to manage certain things. That's why the COVID passports is such a hot topic. Because once we cross this threshold, once this becomes like commercialized and introduced properly, you're going to get the system of a fully digitalized environment pushed out. But that's something to keep an eye on. I will be doing a video on it. But again, we must stay abreast of this topic, especially the COVID passports. Again, Western states are going to be shying away and letting the less quote unquote democratic countries take the lead on it. So we will be following shortly. Now, thank you very much for joining me on this chapter. Thought it would be very interesting to drop this in line with the future video I'll be doing on digitalized cities. And thank you for joining me. I hope you join me on the next chapter. Have a good day. Goodbye.